I'm going to run over a coaching etiquette for these Zoom calls, and although I'm not reading those guidelines and encourage you to adhere to them, I do need to just have a really small disclaimer to say that um, it's really important to me to create a safe space. This is the entire thing. Like, if people don't feel safe, if the space isn't safe, people will not share. And if they do share, they'll share bullshit. They'll share a real surface level view so that they can stay safe, right? So we're not going to tell the truth, and therefore, it's not that it's a waste of time, but it's just not an effective use of time. And for a lot of the group programs, there's a few reasons they run groups, but one of the biggest reasons is because they're more affordable for people to run in a group, and you get to connect with other people, right? Private coaching is like first class pricing, first class, like you get full on, like totally all about you. So we really need to be mindful of that space in a group setting so that we can really come to the party and get the most that we can out of these sessions together, and so can everybody else, because I still want everyone to get really good value out of these groups. So based on that, there's a few things that I have put together. And if anyone is really disrupting that energy, and what I mean by that is if you're being an asshole on purpose, or if you're saying disencouraging, horrible, disempowering things to people, or continuously talking over me or other people, I do stand for the safety of my business and my group, and I will remove you from the group. I'm sorry that I have to start with that, but it's super important to know that I will protect the group, the safety of the group at all costs. Okay, so number one, when you are going to jump on a Zoom, especially a casual Zoom or a group Zoom, do your best to be on time. And on time for me means 5 minutes early. You need 5 minutes to get checked in. You can mute yourself, you can put your video off and just leave it sitting there until it's time. Generally, that's what you'll see me do. You'll normally just see my picture and I'll be muted and the video stops. So I know my technology is sorted and I'm good to go when the time rolls over. The reason why I suggest to be on time is because it is distracting for other people when people do jump in randomly, but more so because you're missing a lot of the value yourself as well. And especially if this is a casual coaching session and you've paid, I don't even know what it is, $20 or whatever, to be there, seeing other people be coached actually gives value to yourself. They may be asking the same questions. And we can usually see clearer what someone else is doing, the patterns they're using and the way they're deflecting through someone else. And on top of that, I will serve the people who show up on time before I serve the people who don't, regardless of the fact that everyone's paid the same money. Out of respect to the people who have turned up on time. So the times in the groups and the casual coachings are going to be set in advance, the same with the moon groups. So just know that. Just know that I do, in a way, I suppose, reward the people who have gone to the effort to be on time. We're all fucking busy, guys. We're all fucking busy. We've all got reasons. We've probably all got kids. We've probably all got jobs or whatever's going on. Okay, so I'm not going to make allowances for anybody's details in their life for the reasons why they can't be on time. And saying that, your time, it's your money, you do as you choose. The next thing is use the hand feature. So about here on the screen, there should be a Manage Participants button. When you click that, it'll come up on the right-hand side. So up here, you'll see the name, and you can actually click a button that says raise your hand. So if you have a question on topic to what I'm talking about, or even not, just raise your hand and I will notice that, and then I will come to you when I'm ready. It doesn't mean I'm always going to come to you in order, because there may be something for someone else that's come up. But do put your hand out rather than just jumping in. I prefer that. Privacy. So these calls will always be recorded automatically, and they go up to the cloud, and I have yet to decide whether or not I'm going to share them with the participants of the group, so I'll be letting you know during the call or prior to the call whether or not I'm going to share them. It depends what comes up, it depends who's on, it depends how well everybody knows each other on the call. There may be calls that everybody knows each other already, and there may be not. So I will decide that at the time. They will be recorded, and I won't be sharing your information, but I may be using it. So, for example, this part I might cut out and use for my own marketing or whatever it is I need it for. But I won't be sharing your personal details anywhere without your prior permission. So just know that, and don't freak out about the fact that it's recorded. If there's something really huge, really heavy for you, and you feel like you can't do it because you know it's been recorded, please let me know. Like I said, I want it to be safe for you. And if you're so super aware that it's been recorded and you're like, I can't share something because I'm scared of the camera, I totally respect that. And it takes me 2 seconds to stop the recording. I would way prefer that you got value and got to speak and got to feel safe than a recording. So please just speak up in that respect. Speaker view. So you can, on the up here, there'll be, it tells you enter full screen. Yeah, sorry, pin, there's all sorts of options. Pin, speaker, gallery view. So pick one that's less distracting for you, the one that keeps you grounded the most. I find when I talk, I make it so it hides myself, because otherwise I'm like a person's over here and I'm trying to talk to them and I'm looking over here like this, which isn't very connected. So I hide the self view so I'm not distracted by looking at myself, and I pin the speaker so that I can feel like I'm actually having a conversation with them. That removes a lot of the barriers that feel like there's a barrier in place and I can't connect properly. You may have to play around a little bit. If you notice that you're in gallery view and people are walking through their houses, talking to their partner, eating, and that's distracting you, then put it so that it's the speaker view only, so that you're not looking at them. If you guys want to connect with each other, I love that. And pop your, rather than the call going all over the show, pop your Instagram handles, your Facebook handles, or however you want to be able to connect with each other down in the chat window. So I'm making the assumption that you've listened to this and you already understand that, and I'm not going to go over this on every call. So just pop your details down on the side and just say you can connect with me here. So if there's people on the call that you want to connect with, you'll know how to find them and they'll know how to find you. Cool. And on that note, I know that we all have a lot of value for each other, especially in the group coaching when it's the vision people and you're working with coaches and other healers. People know shit that I haven't even had a clue about. Like, I learn from people just as much as they're learning from me. The way of the world, and it's fantastic. But I do ask that, like I just said, if you want to have those conversations, do it on the side and do it outside of my time. I get that it's our time, but I'm creating the space, and although I'm trying not to control things, I do have a structure and a flow, and there are things that will be like sitting in my head that I will need to pop into the call along the way. So I would prefer that people aren't jumping in and offering coaching and encouragement to each other live on the Zoom. By all means, do that in the chat window. Right, whatever you like. Go girl, go boy, go do whatever you want in there, and reach out to each other outside of the chat. Outside of the call. Please ask for permission from the other people. So I sometimes will just talk, and then sometimes I will ask for interaction. So interaction is your opportunity to be life coach, to get close to your truth, and to get into little areas that are a little bit uncomfortable. But I've got you. I'm coaching you. I'm watching. Like, I'm focusing on you. I'm watching you as best I can, right? So if you can put yourself in that uncomfortable position and have your question, like, bring it up and get coached on the spot, you will have bigger breakthroughs than when you don't, I believe. So just be aware that sometimes to get your breakthroughs, it is uncomfortable. Sometimes we do cry, and sometimes we just resist and super annoyed. Just notice that stuff has been normal. It's just what we do. After that makes the difference. There will be capped numbers, but bear in mind if it's an hour call and there are 10 other people on the call, that if you narrowed that down, you've got about 4 minutes each. If everybody had a question. So one, I'm not going to be able to get to everybody one-on-one. That's not what this is. This is so that if you put your questions up prior and I can go over them, cool. But my point is also land the plane. When you've got something, try and be precise. Try and stop for a second and be like, okay, my real problem is I'm jealous about the time that Bobby spends with Johnny. Okay, so the deeper you can get, the quicker you can get it, the more efficient we can get, the more respectful of the time we can have for each other, knowing that there are a lot of other people on the call. Now, also notice what's coming up for you now, because there's a reason I made this affordable. If you want an hour to go real deep and it to be all about you, then I do offer personalized coaching programs. There are other opportunities. This is casual. This is quite a casual group, or, you know, I'm talking about casual coaching. So just be aware of that. There are awareness questions to answer. The more truth you can tell yourself when doing those questions prior to the call, the more you can actually really question yourself and really come up with the answers. The bigger your shift, the bigger the change in your life. Right? If you say, I don't know, just know that that's not an answer I'm going to accept. I will keep pushing around for you to come up with a knowing, your knowing. And there will be a lot of times that I just want to tell you the answer, because it's probably obvious to everybody but yourself. But generally I won't. So the quicker you can actually tell the truth. And what I mean by the truth is generally the thing you don't want to say out loud that you're dismissing as nothing, it can't be it. It's generally it. If I ask you a question, it's generally that first thing that pops in your mind that's going to be the thing we need to go to. So go there, go there. Now this is up to you how you want to present yourself. But I do invite you to present yourself in the manner that you want to be received. And what I mean by that is pay attention to the colors that you're wearing. If everybody's wearing black, black really shows a really closed off energy. You know, if you're wearing heaps of color, that shows that you're really like out there and, you know, like enthusiastic for life. Just pay attention to what you're putting on your body in terms of color and presentation, and how much effort, like, oh, bothered, I'm just going to sit in my pajamas. Like, I don't care if you want to turn up like that. I'm fine with that. But I'm asking you to look at it for yourself, because this is a huge part of how we show up in life. And I think that's about it, really, with coaching etiquette. What I do want to say is that there's a reason that you're here. There's a reason that you're watching this. You may not know what that reason is yet, but the more you can do what's a little bit uncomfortable, say what feels like, oh, to say, the bigger the results you will get. And I will do a little video on refund policies and things like that. So yeah, that's about it. Please save the link. Please save the link. I'm not going to be able to send the link to people when I'm getting 10 people asking me what's the link. I'm not going to change the link every week. It's going to be the same link. It's going to be the same one. Pop it in your notes. Also, if you've been on a call before, the Zoom drop-down arrow, when you go join a meeting, the Zoom drop-down arrow, it'll have me in there already from a previous week. And you can also save the Zoom. Save this into your calendar, and the details will be in your calendar. So set up an app or something like that. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to be sending everybody links prior to a call, because what that does is it gives me an anxiety, because I'm like, oh, I'm running out of time, I'm not organised, right? And I've no service doing well when I'm full of anxiety. So, yeah, see you guys on the call. I do hope that this made a difference and made things a little bit easier for you. Kelly Hill.